Hi, good morning, students. How are you all? Hi, how are you? Zara, Navya, Prakriti, good morning. Namrata, everybody, good morning. How are you all? Doing good? I'm fine here. Let's begin. Okay. We have started with the immunity last class. Okay. We have 5 more minutes. Let the other people join. Okay. Good morning. Sanjay, good morning. So I hope you are observing how fast is our corona spreading, right? So how to overcome that? Stay home. Don't go. Are you going outside, roaming around? Picnics and all? No. Very good. We should not do that. Okay. Avoid all those things. Still, we have time to do all that. Yesterday I spoke to you about the, let's have a summary, right? Types of immunity. We talked about immunity, right? Ability to fight against the disease causing pathogens, right? Okay, good. Namrata, you are not roaming around. Lavanya also not roaming around. All of you are not roaming around because you're educated and you will know what is problem. Yes. So that's good, students. So let's now move on to the next part. That's how exactly the immunity you develop, right? I told you yesterday about something about immunity, right? So how do you define immunity? It is the ability to fight against the disease-causing pathogens or the germs, right? In that, we discussed about what are the ways you develop immunity. First is by exposing to infections, or second by vaccination, third is by antitoxin formation, right? Good. Infections, vaccinations, antitoxins, right? So by exposing to infections, you get this immunity. It depends on which type of infection you're exposed to. If the infection is like measles, mumps, and smallpox, you get the immunity for lifetime. Once you become all right, you get immunity for the lifetime, right? But sometimes you get the infection like typhoid and all, they will be around few years. That's it. And sometimes infections will be lasting, or the immunity will last for hardly few hours to 1 or 2 days only. That is about the common cold and other things, right? You have heard about this. Then vaccination, I told you, Edward Jenner discovered vaccination, and this vaccinating our body will help you to develop immunity without getting disease, right? So it developed. This was introducing the weakened or attenuated microorganisms. The first order and second order vaccines, I told you how to prepare. Then vaccination, after once first you have done it, again you will take the booster dose to improve your memory cells in the body, right? Then antitoxins we discussed. Antitoxins are those which are against certain toxins like snake venom. Snake venom and all, we don't have our body producing any much larger number of antitoxins. Suppose there is a snake bite, we may produce little bit in a cell, but it will be very less. That's why these toxins will spread very fast and may be fatal, right? So we'll die because of this, or venom is very strong. Therefore, nowadays they are preparing antitoxins by introducing this venom in a small quantity in the horse or the rabbit. That will produce antibodies against it. Take the blood from that blood sample and allow it to coagulate. Take out only the serum, and which is called the anti-serum because it contains antibodies. Use it as an antitoxin, right? This is how we are stopped yesterday, right? So we're going to now talk about the new thing. That's about what are the types of immunity we possess. Means when we are born, we are like when the baby is born, lot of infectious agents are there outside, like bacteria, virus, fungus, this, that, and all. But still, whenever it is born, only mother would have provided some immunity to the baby, which would have transferred through the placenta. We have already discussed during the human placenta formation. The placenta will transport some of the antibodies to the baby, so it will develop some immunity by birth only, right? So, and also it is a genetic character, right? Some of them will be genetically so strong they will never get it from their parents. They have that resistance, right? So this we call it as inborn immunity, right? Babies or we people are born with certain type of immunity, which is by birth immunity. We will never get it again, right? Those particular things we are having always strong immunity. But there are certain times where you develop immunity only while growing, right? That is called as acquired immunity. So we have two types of immunity. Okay, let's continue it. Let the other people come, right? Many people are not yet come. Miss 79 have joined. Still around 20 members are expected. Okay, so it's time up actually. You'll be here by exact time and go only at the exact time. I think people will come little late and then leave the class on 10 minutes before. So many important things I'm explaining, you will be missing it, right? So when I'm newly adding, still 82 members are there, 120 are there actually. 120 are there, it almost Alva. Good morning, Sumeda. Good morning, Dhruti. Good morning, Tejashwini. Okay then. So, do you have any such immunity for by birth you don't get this? Anybody has this? Let me see. You people tell me. I never get this. Have you got anything like that? By birth you have not got that disease or any kind of such problem which is common in others. Anybody has got it? Do you have it? Anyone is having that kind of immunity against particular thing? Like so many times they say, I never got dysentery. I never got common cold. Anybody is like that? Let me see. You message and tell me. Or you are prone to disease. You never got chicken pox. Good, Samyak. Chicken pox need not to come all the time. Even I didn't get the chicken pox. Right? Chicken pox and all, I'm not talking big diseases. I'm talking about the common diseases. Like, you know, I didn't never get common cold. Anybody? I never got asthma. Anybody? You never got asthma? You never get allergy? You didn't get allergy, Sanjay, but I seen you all the time. You will be having running nose. That you will be doing like this, no? I've seen that, Sanjay. No, huh? Okay, you never got what? You never got allergy, huh? Veena never got allergy. Excuse me, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. No book in the college, ma'am. Arey yaar, what is Subhash? Kya hua beta? Book is not there. Okay, we'll inform today. I'll inform office today. They'll give you the soft copy. ठीक है? सुभाष, मैं ना inform करूँगी ऑफिस को, वो शायद आपको सॉफ्ट कॉपी भेजेंगे. ठीक है? सुभाष, correct? Okay, allergy, never got allergies, Gauri. Allergy, no allergy. Allergy is not there. Okay, many people have got no allergy. That's a good thing. Anybody never got stress problem like BP rising, you know? Okay, Subhash, I will do it. Don't worry. Okay, anyway, let's talk about you never got some other problem. Okay. Anybody never got headache? Headache? By birth, you never got headache. Okay, I think many will get it. You will get it headache, right? Fine. So let's now talk. Okay, already people are around 97. I will start off with this. Not possible, ma'am, means what? You will get it, Antana, Amina. You will get headache. Sometimes looking at some people also will get headache. Yeah, correct. Fine. So let's now talk about that kind of disease resistance capacity. That is a type of immunity, right? So let me show you on the board what are the types of immunity we have. Then I'll discuss one by one in detail. Is it fine? Okay. Let's now talk about this type of immunity. What we get in our life. Okay. Today's date is 7, right? So it is 7/7. Okay. So we have types of immunity. which we call it as first type as inborn or innate immunity. Second one is called as the acquired immunity. Okay, innate refers to the immunity that is inborn. By birth you have got the immunity. See, this is actually very different. Like, we will, all human beings never get a disease which is common in dogs, that is called distemper disease. They will have patch on the body where the skin will lose their hairs. That's called distemper disease. That we will never get it. That is the inborn immunity in all the human beings. Human beings will never get the distemper disease in the dogs. Okay, so that is innate immunity. Innate means inborn immunity. Inborn and by birth it is. Okay, the person or the baby will never get any disease by particular disease by birth. Okay, in inborn diseases we have again types. What are the ways you get inborn or innate immunity? Normally innate immunity is non-specific. Non-specific, and it is not working against particular pathogen. It is a non-specific immunity. Okay, it doesn't work against anything. It is non-specific. Hence, it is just general, and it does not involve, no involvement of antibodies. This is called as, see, this is a very important thing you have to understand. This is non-specific, means not particular on any particular pathogen. It is general immunity, right? It is normally having no antibodies involved in this. Okay. Now, under inborn immunity, we have types. So, in what way we study the types? The first type being, depending upon how it is formed, first one is called the physical. Actually, we learn types into first type A as first order defense. First order defense. Then second one is the second order defense. Second order defense. Okay, first order defense I'm talking about. These are first order. First order means this is outside the body. Second order defense happens inside the body. First one is called the physical barriers or physical immunity. Second is called the physiological immunity. Physiological barriers or physiological immunity. Third one is called the cellular immunity or cellular barriers. And fourth one we call the physicochemical barriers. Okay, these are all first order defense. Means normally outside will happen, not within the cell it will not happen. They are all first order defense. Means like suppose you are going somewhere in a big maybe scientific lab, they will have checkpoints, right? First is security. Then you will go inside, there will be somebody else will be checking you. Then inside the room also there will be somebody checking you. That way, this is the first order defense. It is. Then second order defense happens inside it. That is within the body there will be second order defense. Okay, that is how they will work. Right? First order, second order. This is the first order defense. We have physical and physiological, and second order we have cellular and physicochemical. Right? Then acquired immunity is the immunity that is produced specific. Is a specific immunity which is produced during the development of an organism. This will happen. It involves B and T lymphocytes, and also it will involve the production of antibodies. See, remember first all these differences. Right? So first I said innate immunity, second one is the acquired immunity. Innate immunity is birth immunity. The person will get the immunity by birth from their parents, right? The mother and through her placenta and by feeding milk and all, they will have got it. Even it is a genetic character. Then innate immunity is further divided first order defense, second order defense. First order is surface one. Second order is inside. Right? First order immunity we get the physical and physiological barriers. Second order immunity we get cellular and cytokine barriers. We call it as physicochemical or cytokine barriers. Okay. Don't write now all these things. I'll give one by one. Okay, did you understand what are the main classifications? Okay, let me explain now one by one. Okay, fine. So what are the immunity types? I told you there are innate immunity or there may be acquired immunity. So innate immunity, I told you, it's a born immunity. Inborn, by birth they will have it. Then the acquired immunity you develop as you grow by exposing to infections and all. I told you already how acquired immunity happens based on what infections you are getting, how you are getting the infections, right? So first we'll talk about the inborn immunity. Inborn is by birth, right? This is actually of two types, first order and second order defense. First order is normally surface one, right? It's a first line defense, first line immunity or first order immunity we call it. It involves, first one, I told you, physical barriers. Physically they will avoid the entry of pathogen. One important example is your skin, right? If you think of skin, it is a thick one, hard one, and it is covered by a hydrophobic, waterproof, hard, horny, scaly layer called keratin. This is keratin what we have, due to which nothing will enter into it, right? This is a first order defense. Skin will never allow anything. Pathogens, they cannot happily multiply inside the skin. Outside skin, something, okay, put the bacteria, it will enter. No, it will not enter. Unless you make a wound and allow it to happen, right? So skin is a very good outermost covering of our body, which will protect you from most of the pathogens. So never ever peel the skin. Don't do such things, because I see a lot of people will do these kind of things when they go to the what do you call it, parlors, right? I see a lot of people when they go to parlors, they are scraping the skin. They do something and all. I don't remember. Facial they will do. Not only facial is fine. That's okay. Facial is fine. If at all you do just massaging, but so many times they put some acidic things and they will peel off the skin. That's very bad actually. One layer of the skin, if you remove it, it is more prone to infections, right? So therefore, skin is the most important barrier for the entry of pathogens. We stop the entry because it is keratinized. It's a mechanical barrier. First is skin. Second one is internal one, that is a mucous membrane. We have no mouth, digestive tract, urinogenital tract, respiratory tract. They are lined by mucous membrane, right? Mucous membrane is the second one. This will not allow the entry of pathogens from entering within the cells, right? They are going to the tract. Within the tract, they will be here. This mucous membrane will produce mucus and push the pathogens down. It will not allow the pathogens to enter into the cells. This is the second order defense. Then mucous membrane is the second one. What are where and all is present? One is in the mouth. Buccopharyngeal cavity, buccal cavity and pharynx cavity. This will normally, whenever pathogens try to get inside, then they will produce a kind of mucilage and they push the digestive tract so that it go to hydrochloric acid in stomach and get wet. And so many times it will be excreted through fecal matter, right? That's how anything you are eating, if you properly masticate it, so many times the pathogens are killed here in the mouth cavity and will be taken away to the down into the digestive tract and will be eliminated through the fecal matter. Okay, first is buccopharyngeal cavity. Second is respiratory tract. Through the nasal tract it will enter. Nasal tract enters the digestive tract, sorry, the respiratory tract. Then you could have seen if something enters these, there are a lot of hairs here. Physically, they will make a mesh and don't allow the pathogen to enter. There will be a lot of hairs here. They will not allow the entry of the pathogens inside. That's how it will avoid the entry of pathogens. So let me show you how exactly it will avoid it. Observe the board, right? Under the physical immunity, I am talking about this physical, physiological and cellular immunity we are discussing. So under physical immunity, what I told you, first one, it is a physical barrier. And a physical barrier, I told you there are two things. One is skin, another one is mucous membrane. Mucous membrane. Okay, skin is keratinized. This keratinized skin will not allow the entry of pathogens, right? In mucous membrane, we have types. First one is called buccopharyngeal lining. Pharyngeal lining. This is again covered by the mucous membrane, do not allow the entry of pathogens. Second is the respiratory tract. Respiratory lining. Okay, so if you observe the respiratory lining, you can observe here. So let me draw this here because I don't want to write about acquired immunity. So if you think of the nasal tract, okay, imagine this is a nasal tract. This is the nasal, external nasal canal, nostril, and here we have the mouth cavity, okay, oral cavity, okay. Now, the thing is, here, the nasal tract, we have lining of goblet cells. Small goblet cells are there. They'll produce mucus. Apart from that, a lot of hairs are there. They form the fine mesh here. Therefore, don't cut off the hairs. Okay. This will form the nice mesh over here, and this will not allow the entry of pathogens, which will be trapped. And there will be a lot of mucus in which they get sticky and they will get stuck here. And there are a number of ciliated epithelium, like this cilia will be there, like this, these cilia. These are continuously beating and push the pathogen out through sneezing. Whenever you sneeze, all these pathogens come out, right? This is how physically they are avoiding the entry of pathogens, right? This is what I'm saying, buccopharyngeal cavity. This is called the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity. This is the pharynx. This is the pharyngeal cavity. Okay, it's called the buccopharyngeal cavity, right? This buccopharyngeal cavity will not allow because internally it is lined here by mucous membrane. Okay, it will pass all the pathogens down to the digestive tract. And if you think of respiratory tract, it will come here and it will separate now here as the respiratory tract, larynx, here the esophagus, the pathogen comes here. Here either it will go here or it will go here. Here also it will be throwing out. And so many times you will take that sputum out. You will take now. Then it will be transferred from here to the digestive tract so that it will stop the entry of pathogens. So that's how our body is highly well equipped with pathogens. If you keep the confidence in yourself, you are not spoiling that, then you are already equipped and you will be very much having ability to fight easily. This is first order defense. So second one I told you, the respiratory lining, buccopharyngeal lining. Third one is urinogenital lining, because urinary tract will be there. No, so many times it is exposed to infections. So many times those people who use the public toilets, their pathogen center. But mostly they will not develop because there will be lining will be so strong it will not allow the pathogen to enter. Even the reproductive system in females, you would have seen through the vagina, a lot of bleeding and all will happen. Still, there is no entry of pathogens because they will be highly equipped with killing ability of microorganisms. Did you get it? So that's about the mechanical type of, what do we call it as, mechanical type of barriers which form the first order defense. Okay, so write down now the question, not question, the part notes you write. First point, write the heading, kinds of or types of immunity. Types of immunity. There are two major types of immunity. Are you writing? So 117 members are there. All 117 members stay back till the last say of my word saying goodbye. Okay, bye and all. Don't just leave out before 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Now people are thinking that okay, coming and logging in itself is a great issue. Don't do that. Okay. So all of you stay till I finish this. Will you say yes? Already 1% done. 117, 116. Suddenly you people will be disappearing, appearing. Okay. You are already there. No, Veena is there, Prakriti, Srigauri, Namrata, Zoya, Chandan, Lavanya. Let me see Sumedha. All of you say yes, yes. Let me see. 117 members are saying it. Yes. Ritya Ravi Kumar is saying, Sudipta is saying, Sanjay again is saying. Bhumika, Prakriti, Chinmay, Rumala, Sunidhi, okay, Rakshita, Rajeshwari, Shweta, Spurti, Kirtana, Dhanush, Puran, Sneha, Atharva, Tejashwini, Pragati. Okay. Others? Subhash, Jivika, Sampat, Chitra, okay, Rakshita, Radhika, Nanavi, Chandrika. We will see how many of you Manohar. See, today only I am seeing his word. Hemant Reddy, Archana, Shweta, Chandan, Ananya. All of you are going to stay up to the last word I say. Bye. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. Okay. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಠ ಬಂದಂಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಂಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. Manjuna is saying yes ma'am. Okay. We will see how much you see. Listen, not for my sake. You keep up your own words. Not for my sake. ನೀನ್ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ ಮಿಸ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ನನ್ಗೇನ್ ಬೇಡ. ನಿನ್ನ ಮನ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಿನ್ ಖುಷಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿ. ನನ್ಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಜ. Okay, Ashrita, Nisarga, everyone. Okay, write the heading, types of immunity. Immunity is of two major types. Okay, first one, what is that? Let me see, you will tell me. What's the first type of immunity? Innate immunity or inborn immunity. Innate or inborn immunity. Second one, acquired immunity. Acquired immunity. Write down. First one, innate immunity. Good. First heading, right? Innate immunity. It is the immunity that is inherited by an organism. It is an immunity that is inherited by an organism from its parents. From its parents. From its parents. This protects the organism from some common diseases. Throughout life. Are you writing? Throughout life. Okay, next. It is non-specific immunity. It doesn't involve non-specific immunity. It doesn't involve antibodies. Okay. Next, it is of following types. First one, first line defense. Number two, second line defense. First line defense and second one is second line defense. Underline first heading, right? First line defense. It is called as external defense. It is further divided into two types. It is further divided into two types. Number one, physical barriers. Number two, physiological. Good, Bindushri, correct. Physical barriers. Number two, physiological barriers. Good, you understood. No? You are able to concentrate. That's a great thing. Physical barriers and physiological barriers. Number two is physiological barriers. Right, heading physical barriers. These are of two types. Physical barriers ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು? Physical barriers ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು? Number one, skin. Number two, mucous membrane. ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ವಾ? Good, Prakriti. Skin and mucous membrane. Number two, mucous membrane. ನೀವು ಪಕ್ಕಾ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. Good. Right down. Heading you write skin. Number one is skin. It provides a nice protective. It provides a nice protective covering to entire body, to the entire body. Nice protective covering to the entire body. Next. Its outer layer is rough, horny layer called, I'll write this on the board, called stratum corneum. Stratum corneum. ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನೀಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದು. ಔಟರ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಏನಂತಾರೆ? ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಮ್ ಕಾರ್ನಿಯಂ. ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಮ್ ಕಾರ್ನಿಯಂ. Okay, fine. Stratum corneum, it is made up of dead, fully keratinized cells. Fully keratinized, K-A-R-A, keratinized cells. Dead, fully keratinized cells. These cells are hard. These cells are hard, insoluble. Sorry, these cells are hard, containing insoluble protein called keratin. There is no protoplasm in them. Insoluble protein called keratin. There is no protoplasm in them. Varadra? This keratinized layer is waterproof. This keratinized layer is waterproof and germ proof. Germ proof. I'm sorry. Waterproof and germ proof. Madra. It prevents the entry of bacteria and virus. It prevents the entry of bacteria and virus. Okay. Second, you write mucous membrane. Second one is mucous membrane. Number two. Okay. Write down. It is a slimy layer that lines, it is the slimy layer that lines digestive tract, respiratory tract, urinogenital tracts, etc. Urinogenital tracts, etc. Okay, good. Chinmay and all, they are reacting well nowadays. Cardial students. Good. Okay. Did you write this? It's a slimy layer lining the digestive tract, respiratory tract, and urinogenital tract, etc. Okay, fine. Next. This mucous membrane acts as the external defense, and doesn't allow the pathogens to directly come in contact with cells. It secretes a slimy mucus. That traps the microorganisms and immobilizes them. This layer covers following parts. First one, buccopharyngeal lining, I told you, buccopharyngeal lining, you want the spelling or you know it? Buccopharyngeal lining ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾ? Just now I had told you. Buccopharyngeal lining. ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಯಾರು ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ? See, 123 members are there. You know buccopharyngeal lining. Okay, good. Enough. Buccopharyngeal lining. Right, huh? The dust particles are microorganisms. When enter the oral cavity or the buccopharyngeal cavity, through mouth, get caught in the mucus, and are eliminated through sputum. SPUTUM. Sputum andre ಉಗಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು, ಉಗಿತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟಮ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. Eliminated through sputum. Remaining microbes are eliminated through fecus. ಅಲ್ವಾ? Second one, respiratory tract lining. Respiratory tract lining. Right, huh? Most of the microorganisms enter the nasal tract during inhalation. Most of the microorganisms enter the nasal tract during inhalation, along with the dust particles. Along with the dust particles. While breathing. While breathing. Most of them are caught. Most of them are caught in hairs that are lining. In hairs that are lining the nasal canal. That are lining the nasal canal. Nasal canal. As hairs form the mesh. Hairs form the mesh in nasal chamber. Mesh in nasal chamber. Or in nostrils. Nostrils are illinda barthe kyalu hairs nodidre illa bartide. Nostrils or in nostrils. Nasal chamber athava nostrils. These are thrown out by the beating action of cilia. These are thrown out by the beating action of cilia. Or some of them will be trapped in the mucus produced by goblet cells. Produced by, I repeat, most of them are thrown out by the beating action of cilia. I am repeating, by the beating action of cilia, or trapped by the mucus. Trapped by the mucus produced by goblet cells. Produced by goblet cells. And carried to the pharynx. And carried to the pharynx. Full stop. ಅಂದ್ರೆ nasal tract ಇಂದ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು goblet cells ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ go to the pharynx. This area. Okay, pharynx. Next, later they are swallowed in the digestive tract, into the digestive tract. Later they are swallowed into the digestive tract. Or thrown out through sputum. Swallow ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ನುಂಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಥ್ರೂ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. That is sputum. Sputum ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಯಿ ಉಗಿತಾರಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Are thrown out through the sputum. Did you understand? Next, third one, you write eyes. Eyes, kannalli. Can you tell me how will the pathogen entering is avoided? Entry of pathogen is avoided in the eyes. ಕಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ pathogen? Tears ಮತ್ತೆ tears ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Our eyebrows will not allow. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಬೆವರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. then eyebrows ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಐಬ್ರೋಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಚಿಕ್ಕದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸಣ್ಣದ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಚಂದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ದಪ್ಪಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಲೆಟ್ ದ ಐಬ್ರೋಸ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್. ರೆಟಿನಲ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಒಳಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೇನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರ್ ಟಿಯರ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಸೋಸೈಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಸೋಸೈಮ್ will kill the microbes. Okay, right on. Eyes, secretions of secretion of tears by tear gland in eyes. Okay, eyelashes also correct. Eyelashes or eyebrows. Okay, secretion of tears by tear glands in eyes, comma, movement of eyelids movement ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ವಾ, eyelids, right? Movement of eyelids. Next, and eyelashes. Flush out the microorganism. Flush out the microorganisms. Flush out the microorganisms that may settle in eyeballs. That may settle on eyeballs. Eyebrows avoid the entry of dust into eyes. Next, internal body fluids. Fourth one, internal body fluids ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು? ನಮ್ಮದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ fluids ಅಂದ್ರೆ mucus ಇರುತ್ತೆ, digestive mucus, gastric mucus ಇರುತ್ತೆ, intestinal mucus ಇರುತ್ತೆ, hydrochloric acid ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಲಶ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ pathogens. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ we should drink lots of water so that the flushing becomes easier. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾರು ಫ್ಲಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲಶ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಂಗೇನೆ our body fluids also will flush these pathogens when you drink lots of water. ಬಾಡಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನೀರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, right? It's not that you should continue to drink every 5 minutes 1 liter ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರು ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು. ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, you will not even get to know when you get thirsty, when you have to drink water. Drink water regularly ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕುಡಿಬಹುದು, ರೈಟ್? ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಲಶ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ರೈಟ್ ದ ಸೈಡ್ ಹೆಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರ. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್ ಇದು various body fluids like saliva, digestive juice, there's juices like intestinal juice, bile juice, pancreatic juice, various digestive juices like gastric juice, intestinal juice, bile juice and pancreatic juice. Help in flushing out pathogens. Okay. So now we'll talk about the physiological barriers. Physiological barriers and the okay. Just I'll explain you. Just watch it once. Okay. Physical barriers kaltralva. ಈಗ physiological ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Physiological is normally chemical. They are the chemical barriers or the physiological barriers. Direct physically, they are throwing, right? If suppose something is thrown like this physically, it's a physical barrier. Physiological barriers, Okay. Next is about the physiological barriers. These are normally chemicals, right? So what are the chemicals? First one, on the skin, normally you will get the sweat. Sweat glands or sweat is highly saline in nature. The pathogens which come in contact with sweat, they get dehydrated because they undergo plasmolysis because of the salty nature. Even the sweat contains lysozyme enzyme, lysozyme chemical, and also it will be very salty. Most of the pathogens will be killed in this only. That is the sweat, which is in the skin. Then second one, it is about the tears. Tears also produce lysozyme. They are also salty in nature. They will also kill the pathogens. Second one. Third one, the hydrochloric acid produced by the gastric glands. Gastric glands is so highly acidic, it will kill the pathogens because it is around 1 to 2 pH. Tumba highly acidic pH irte. 1.2 to 2 pH irte. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಸುಮಾರು ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ನೇ ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಸಲೈವಾ. Saliva also contains lysozyme. Lysozyme, if you properly chew the food, then it will be killed here only, right? Then apart from that, you have oil glands. Oil glands are sebaceous glands. Nam skin melella oil glands irutte illela. They oil will not allow the pathogen to settle also. Hood takshana jaarkondu hogbidutte, lipid iruttadalva. Hagagi most of them are swept away by the oil, secreted by the skin, by the oil glands, right? Then sebaceous glands anta. Sebaceous glands. Okay. Apart from the oil glands, we have something else. That is about the earwax. You heard about earwax? Earwax. Most of the pathogens will not multiply because of the earwax. It is a defense mechanism. All the time, continuously it is helping for avoiding the entry of pathogens into the eardrum, right? Earwax. Seventh one, apart from earwax, we have the all body parts, mainly the vaginal secretions. Vaginal secretions and seminal secretions, they kill the pathogens. These are all physico-chemical, physiological barriers, the chemical barriers of the body. Remember all these. What all I told you? First is the sweat produced by the skin, by the sweat glands, which is so salty, and also it contains lysozyme chemical, which will kill the microorganisms, and it maintains the acidic pH on the skin. Skin pH become 3 to 5 because of the sweat over that, right? Then next comes, even if you produce lactic acid and make it more acidic. ಅವಾಗಂತೂ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ನೀವು ಹಂಗೆ ಮುಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಂದ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That's because of this one. That is about the lactic acid production. They kill the microbes. Okay, lysozyme is produced in all of them. Saliva to bile. Bile also we have to remember vaginal secretions. So all these are the major ones acting like a physiochemical barriers or physiological barriers. Did you understand them? Okay. Write the side heading: physiological barriers. The skin and the mucous membrane produce certain chemicals that can successfully suppress the pathogens. The skin and the mucous membrane secrete certain chemicals that can successfully kill the pathogens. But successfully they can destroy the pathogen. Such chemicals for defense are: first one, sweat. I repeat Nisarga. Skin and mucous membrane secrete certain chemicals that can successfully kill the pathogens or destroy the pathogens. Aita, repeat ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಿಸರ್ಗ. Okay, prakriti element, sweat, tears, HCl, good. Oil glands, very good. Fine. Correct. Vaginal seminal secretions. Good, correct, ma. Prakriti. Right on. First time bartira number 1, sweat. Sweat is a salty secretion of the sweat glands. Salty secretion of the sweat glands consisting of antibacterial chemical lysozyme. Pathogens fail to multiply. In this high salty environment. And undergo plasmolysis. Fail to multiply in this high salty environment and undergo plasmolysis. I am repeating, Sri Gauri. Wait, repeat it. Pathogens fail to multiply in this high salty environment and undergo plasmolysis and are killed. Repeat ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಗೌರಿ. ಸರಿನಾ? Next. There is also production of, next paragraph. There is also production of lactic acid and fatty acids by sudoriferous glands, SUDO, by sudoriferous glands, SUDORIFEROUS, sudoriferous glands. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ ತಯಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. lactic acid ಮತ್ತೆ fatty acids ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Write the spelling. Sudoriferous glands, SUDORIFEROUS, sudoriferous glands. Bardra. And they make the skin highly acidic and make the skin surface highly acidic with pH 3 to 5. Highly acidic with pH 3 to 5. Thus, the microbes cannot establish in this environment. Skin also contains some friendly bacteria. That doesn't allow the harmful microbes. Skin also contains some helpful bacteria that doesn't allow the harmful bacterial multiplication. Harmful bacterial multiplication. Only 2 people have exited. See, 123 was that, 121. I don't know, maybe network issue agatto eno ankonತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಂಗೆ ಟಕ್ ಟಕ್ ಬರೋದು ಟಕ್ ಟಕ್ ಹೋಗೋದು ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. Right? Is that really a network issue? Those who are coming and going, I'm asking them. Maybe sure. Network ಬರೋದು ಹೋಗೋದು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದೇನೋ. I always think that in a positive fashion. Network correct. Network ಇರಬಹುದು. Correct. Next ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Saliva, second one, saliva. Saliva contain lysozyme. Yes, ma'am. For me, it happens, Sanjana. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Saliva contain antibacterial lysozyme that can destroy pathogens. Dead microbes are flushed into the digestive tract. Dead bacteria are flushed into the digestive tract. Okay. Third one, HCl, hydrochloric acid produced by the gastric glands. Produced by the gastric glands is highly acidic. Is highly acidic with pH. With pH. With pH 1.2 to 2. 1.2 to 2. With pH 1.2 to 2. Because of this acidic environment, most of the microbes are killed in the gastric juice. Next, tears. It is slightly saline fluid secreted by lacrimal glands. Slightly salty fluid secreted by the lacrimal glands. LACRY, lacrimal, MAL, LACRY, MAL, lacrimal glands. Lacrimal glands that also contain lysozyme. This help in avoiding eye infections. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಐ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ನನಗೊಂದು ಆಗಿದೆ ಗುಂಡಿಗೆ. It is because you are keeping your eye very dry, continuously you are scraping it, taking something and itching it, you may get it, right? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದೊಂಥರ ದಪ್ಪ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಇದು lacrimal gland ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದರಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. that is conjunctivitis ಎಲ್ಲ avoid ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, lacrimal glands ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ? frequent washing of eyes. frequent washing of eyes ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂರತ್ತು ಕಣ್ಣೆಲ್ಲ ನೀರು ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ತೊಳ್ಕೋತಲ್ಲ ಅದು. frequent washing of eyes reduces the action of frequent washing of eyes. They usually I am repeating. Frequent washing of eyes reduces the power of lacrimal secretion. Power of lacrimal secretion ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂರತ್ತು ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೊಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ತನಿತಾನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Don't do it because I see a lot of people too much worried about the eyes. ನೀರು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ಣು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್. Are you getting this? ಆಯ್ತಾ ಬರ್ದ್ರಾ? Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು. Okay, next you write ear wax. Ear wax. I see a lot of people taking out ear wax. ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನೋ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. That is very bad. Okay, ear wax you should not remove it. Okay, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಹೋಗಿ ತೆಗೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ. Okay, write the ear wax. Ear wax is secreted by ceruminous glands. ceruminous ceruminous glands. Ear wax is produced by ceruminous glands. Ceruminous glands andre ear wax produce ಮಾಡೋ glands. Ceruminous glands. ceruminous. Ceruminous glands. Ear wax traps most of the dust and pathogens. Ear wax traps most of the dust and pathogens that may enter the eardrum. That may enter the eardrum. Sanjay, spelling wrong ಬರ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಏನೇ ತಪ್ಪ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಸ್ಪೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ನಿಮ್ದ? ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಆರೋ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. ಓಕೆ, ceruminous glands ಆಯ್ತಾ? Avoid it from entering the eardrum. Ear wax is chemically called as cerumen. CE. S ಅಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನು, CE ಬರೀರಿ. I am sorry. S ಅಲ್ಲ CE. Ceruminous gland. CERU. I am sorry, spelling I have told wrong. CER. S ಅಲ್ಲ. CRUMEMINOS. Ceruminous glands. Okay, got it? Cerumen. So ear wax is chemically called cerumen. It is bitter, brownish secretion of ceruminous glands. Brownish, bitter and brownish secretion of ceruminous glands. CERU. Ceruminous. MINOS. Ceruminous glands. Into the auditory canal. Kivi canal irtala, auditory canal. Into the auditory canal. It also prevents entry of insects. ಕಿವಿಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಿವಿ ಇಯರ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಖಾಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವೆ ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ರೈಟ್, ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಲವು ಇರ್ತಾವೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣದು, what do you call it, as a small type of cockroaches ಹಾರಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಿವಿ ಒಳಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೇನೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಖಾಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಕ್ ದ ಇಯರ್ ಡ್ರಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬರ್ದ್ರಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, vaginal secretions. There are special type of lactobacillus bacteria found in vagina. There are special type of lactobacillus bacteria found in vagina. They produce lactic acid. Lactic acid. This kills the foreign bacteria. This kills the foreign bacteria. As vagina is more exposed to infections, more exposed to infections, this lactic acid acts as natural immunity for the vagina. Natural immunity for the vagina. Okay. Now listen, we will talk about the second line immunity, second order defense. Okay, second line defense. First line defense ಮುಗಿತಿದೆ. ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. I told physical and physiological. ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ಎರಡನೇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಬ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯೂಕಸ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. So many times we get some cuts ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಗುರು ಸಂದಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ infections. They enter into the deep inside the cell. Then you have to think about the second order defense. Second order defense happens within the cell. Internal defense ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೇಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. ಸುಮಾರು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತಾರ ದಿನ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ತಿಕ್ಕೊಂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಅನ್ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಸ್ಕ್ರೇಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಗಾಯ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ತರದ್ದು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್, ಬಟ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಬಾತ್, head bath regularly, alternate days is fine, right? But don't leave them. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಚ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಓಕೆ, ನೌ ಲಿಸನ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದು ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ WBC cells. Most of the WBC cells, right, they will be leukocytes. They have the ability to pass out of the blood vessel ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ ಆಚೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತುರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಡಯಾಪೆಡೆಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. Diapedesis is nothing but the entry of WBC cells out of the blood vessel, squeezing out of the blood vessel and entering into the infected area and fighting with that. That's first one, right? Then second one though, our neutrophils, then macrophages, they will act cellular immunity ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. cell to cell ಅದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಬಂತ engulf ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Then they will break it down, destroy them. This is called cellular immunity, right? So first we are talking about second order difference ಅಲ್ಲಿ first ಬಂದು cellular immunity, cell to cell immunity ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so let's now go to the cell to cell immunity or cellular immunity. So how exactly they provide, I tell you. So think that, so I am talking now about the second order defense. First order defense agoytu, the second order defense. Okay, it is a second order defense system. Okay, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು cellular barriers. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು some of the leukocytes. Leukocytes ಅಂದ್ರೆ type of WBC cells. WBC cells. ಹಿಂಗೆ blood vessel ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇದು blood vessel ಅಲ್ಲಿ these RBC, WBC and all will be moving around. These WBC cells, RBC cells, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತವೆ WBC cells. Suppose imagine there is a infection out of this area. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು pathogens ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಇದೇನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ ಗೆ ಲೈನಿಂಗ್. ಏನ್ ತರ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಂಡೋಥೀಶಿಯಂ. ಈ ಎಂಡೋಥೀಶಿಯಂ ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಏರಿಯಾಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಮ್ದು ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ ಇದ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಈ WBC ಸೆಲ್ ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗಿರೋದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದು it will work here on this work. This process is called diapedesis. Diapedesis andre moving the WBC cells move out of the blood vessel. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತವೆ ಅವು, ಇದು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್. ಇದು ಈ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಏರಿಯಾಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಆಚೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ diapedesis. The type of leukocytes will do like this. It's called diapedesis, right? This is the first one. Second thing, it is by neutrophils and macrophages. Neutrophils and macrophages. And macrophages. These are actually the mobile cells. They are the amoeboid cells. Here is cell identical. Here pathogen entry agbittide. Okay, pathogen is entered. ಇದು ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ WBC ಸೆಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರೋಫಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್. ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇದು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎನ್ಗಲ್ಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಳ್ಕೊಂತಿದೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್, ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ತರ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ರೈಟ್. ದೆನ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಓಕೆ, later this will combine with one of the lysosomes in the cell. ಇದನ್ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇದ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಯ್ತೀಗ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಕ್ಕ ಇರೋ ಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಏನೋ ಸುಯಿಸೈಡಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು, ಇದನ್ನ ಫಾಗೋಸೋಮ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಫಾಗೋಸೈಟೋಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಾಗೋಸೈನ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್, ಇದು ಫಾಗೋಸೋಮ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. ಇದು ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಫಾಗೋಸೈಟೋಸಿಸ್ by macrophages and the neutrophils. ಇದು ಫಾಗೋಸೋಮ್. ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಫಾಗೋಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಫಾಗೋಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ರ ಸುತ್ತ ಇರೋದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ ಅನ್ನು, the cell also will break, the pathogen also will break. And they go to the end of the cell and they will break open and they release. Here, there is a phagocytosis happening. This is phagocytosis. I explained you. This is leukocyte functioning. This is diapedesis. Itu diapedesis. Diapedesis andre iga onde blood vessel is the blood is moving. Where RBC, WBC all are moving. Suppose infection is not near the blood, they will be outside. Then these cells of the neutrophils or the leukocytes will move out of it by squeezing. Squeezing is ದಪ್ಪ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸಣ್ಣ ತೂತ ಇದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕ್ವೀಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ದಪ್ಪ ಸೆಲ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದು ಇದು ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ವೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ then it will go to the infected area and functions right but second type ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ neutrophils and macrophages their number is varying infected ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ pathogen enter ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ they will go nearby, they attract it and they will engulf it forming a phagosome. Then phagosome will attract all the lysosomes. Lysosomes will combine, lysozyme and lysosome, suicidal bags of the cell. Then they will combine forming phagolysosomes. Phagolysosomes are there, lysosome break out. Suicidal bag break again, it will release lytic enzymes. Lytic enzymes release action, they will, it will destroy our cell also and pathogen also and will be thrown out. This is a very important type of defense. It's called cellular defense mechanism. Okay, did you follow this? It's very important type of defense mechanism. Okay, ಇದನ್ನ drawing ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ first ಒಂದೆರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ I'll explain you to keep on observing and listening. Okay, first we write the heading second line defense. Heading ಬರೆದ್ರೆ second line defense ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರಾ ಹೌದಪ್ಪ ಶ್ರೀ ಗೌರಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಣೆ ಇದೆಯಮ್ಮ ನೀ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ okay first you write it second order defense or second line defense it is a kind of internal defense mechanism it is a kind of internal defense mechanism it includes cellular barriers and cytokine barriers. It includes cellular barriers and cytokine barriers. Sri Gauri istella kate barbitre ninge yav dali barutte anta gottagalla na heldange barkono includes the cellular barriers and cytokine barriers. First heading cellular barriers. There are various types of WBC cells, macrophages, form the cellular barriers in the body. Form the cellular barriers in the body. All these together operate and destroy the pathogen. All these together operate and destroy the pathogen. First one, WBC cells are leukocytes. During infection, number of WBC cells increase. Next point. These special WBC cells squeeze out of the blood capillaries, move to the infected area, and the process is called diapedesis. Okay, this you write. This is WBC squeezing WBC. These may be RBC cells. This may be RBC. This may be different types of WBC cells. Draw this diagram. First one. This drawing you draw. This is infected area. This is the endothelium. Are you drawing this? Drawn. Next, right? Next point, right? Neutrophils and macrophages. First, under that, first heading, right? Neutrophils. A, neutrophils. These are the types of WBC cells that engulf and digest the microorganisms. That engulf and digest the microorganisms. The process is called phagocytosis. The process is called phagocytosis. Okay, draw the diagram. Phagocytosis bardela chitra barbadi. You want me to repeat? Okay, I'll repeat. Neutrophils are the special type of WBC cells that can engulf and digest the microorganisms. Digest the microorganisms, and the process is called phagocytosis. I repeated, dear Prakriti. Bardhyama. Okay. So draw this diagram. Phagocytosis on sarti 2 mark keltare nimma board exam alle keltare. No, already 10 jana illa 110 now 123 ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು. People had promised me and suddenly you are escaping. I don't know. 5 ನಿಮಿಷಾಗ್ಲಿ 10 ನಿಮಿಷಾಗ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ. Draw that diagram in a flow chart. ನಂಗೆ ಜಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೈಡ್ ಬರಿಬಾರ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ತರ ಬರೀರಿ. ಏನ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ? ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರೋಫಿಲ್, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋಫೇಜಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಫಾಗೋಸೈಟೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀರಿ. ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರೋಫಿಲ್, ಇದು ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? engulfment. This is engulfment. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾಗೋಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಿಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್. ಉದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೀರಿ, ಒಂದ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರೀರಿ. ಜಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿದೀವಿ ನಾನು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ಗಳು. 111 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, 10 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಈ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಮಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್. ಬರ್ದಾಯ್ತಾ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಶೋ ಅಗೇನ್ ಸಂಜಯ್? Okay, fine. Okay, watch it. Write it in the long chain-like form. Flow chart ತರ ಬರೆಯಿರಿ neutrophils ದು. Phagocytosis of neutrophil by neutrophils. Heading ನೇ neutrophils ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರ ಹೆಸರು neutrophils. ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದು. ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇಲ್ ಬರೆಯಿರಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಡಿ. Phagocytosis. Neutrophils phagocytosis. So done. You are finished with all this, all of you? Okay. ನಾಳೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಈ ವಾರ ಫುಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? The whole week you have the classes till Friday ಅಲ್ವಾ? Okay, ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಮುಗಿತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕನೂ ಕೊಡೋಣ. Okay, study well as much as possible, fully will. Okay, bye then, see you. It's time up almost. Okay, bye-bye. Bye friends, thank you.